All right, guys, so welcome back. So today we're going to learn how to use different effects option within Microsoft Office to create PowerPoint presentation like these. And so for today, we're going to be exploring the handwriting effect and how we can use that to make presentations that are more visually appealing. So let's just jump right into it. So once you go ahead and open a blank slide within Microsoft Office, you will see two text boxes. You're going to go ahead and remove the bigger of the two. All right, so once you do that, now you're left with one text box. You can go ahead and realign that so it's close to the center, but not exactly there. Then you're going to put the text that you want to animate. So I'm going to be using let's learn to animate as my text. No, you can go ahead and further personalize this. So if you're not liking how this font is looking, etc., you can go ahead and personalize it. So I'm going to highlight the text. And then I am pleased with the size, which is 44. So I'm going to leave it. Or if I'm going to change a font style. So I think I'm going to stick with Arial Black. All right, so that's fine. I'm going to take this more to the center. All right. So now that you have done that, the next step is to get an image that has the hand with the pencil, or you may use a pen, that's fine. How do you do that? Click on Insert at the top beside the Home tab, then select Online Pictures, and it will give you the option to take it from, if you have the picture stored on your device, you can take it from there, or in this instance, we have to search Bing. So you're going to use the word transparent in front of the image and add hand and pen, so PNG. That will give you a selection of different images that you can work with. But if you don't want, if you're searching within Bing and you're not finding what you want, you can easily well do a Google search and then copy and paste the image from there. So I'm going to be selecting this image here, and you want to ensure that the image that you're selecting is at an angle so that you can get a better handwriting effect. So I'm going to go ahead and select and then press insert. So the image will appear on the screen. Then I'm going to go ahead now and resize. So you don't want it too big and you don't want it too small. So I'm going to go ahead and resize that image. All right, so now that I've done that, the next step now is to start animating the text. So first that I want to animate, or the text that I want to animate, then I'm going to go to Animations and then select Appear. Right, so that's the first animation that we add. And if you should look here, you'll see the animation pane pop up. If you're not seeing the animation pane, you can take it from the top here. So you can just select it there and it should come right here at the side. All right, so now that we have added the first animation, we're going to go over to the animation pane, then right click on it and then go to effect options and then go down to animate text and then change it from all at once to by letter. So once you do that, the timing here will populate a 0.5 seconds delay between each letter. So you're going to need to just write that down because we're going to be needing it further on in the tutorial. So I'm going to select OK, and this is what it's looking like so far. All right, so what we did, we chose our text that we want to animate. We went and looked for the hand via image search. Then we added the first animation, which is appear. And then we went to the animation pane, select effect options, and then select violator as the text animation. So that's what it's looking like. Now, the second procedure now is to animate the hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the animation pane and then zoom this image up so that I'll be better able to add the next animation that I'm going to be doing. Oops. All right, so for my zoom, I don't think I'm going to need anything more than 100%. Let me see if I can pull it. All right, that should be fine. So I'm still not liking the size of the hand, so I can go ahead and readjust the size to make it a little bit smaller. For those persons who are using a newer version of PowerPoint, you might be able to remove the slide deck by just clicking the X at the top here. You can go ahead and do that. If not, then you can just leave it as is and work with it just the same. So the next thing that I want to do now is to apply the handwriting animation that will allow this hand here to write these letters. I'm going to go ahead and just shift the orientation of the pencil and the hand a little bit. All right, good. So how do I do that? I'm going to select the hand and then I'm going to select a particular animation that will allow me to trace the outline of the letters. Now, when you're doing this, you have to be very careful because when you're writing the text, ensure that you're writing from the top and then joining the letters and then joining each letter. So it's like you're writing in cursive and then you go from top, bottom to top and join each letter and space. So that way it will flow. So click on the text, the hand that you want to animate, go to animation, go to add animation, and then you're going to move down to motion path at the bottom, and then select custom path. When you do that, a plus should appear on your screen. So this is going to take a little bit of hand-eye coordination. It might not be perfect at first, but you can just continue to play around with it until you get it right. So I'm starting at the top here. So I'm tracing the L and then I'm joining it to the E. All right, so ensure that you're tracing it properly. Then I'm extending to the top of the T, coming down, go back up to make the T. Then I'm going to the apostrophe sign. Then I'm moving to the S at the top. Then for the space between the next set of words, going to the top again, ensuring that I'm joining the top of the E. Same for the A. So how well your animation comes out is dependent on how well you're able to trace these letters. So if you don't get it right at first, you can always undo and try again. So I'm starting with my O, then joining it to the A there. And while you're doing this, ensure that your dominant hand is on the mouse pad and tracing. That's what you're going to use to trace the letters. And then your non-dominant hand should be on the left mouse pad. And you should keep your hand on it, your non-dominant hand on it, until you're finished tracing. Once you release it, then you have to start over. So you only are going to be releasing it when you're at the end, which is where I'm at now. So there it is. So if you realize it's a little bit fast, right? So I'm going to be adjusting that just a little bit and slow it down so that the animation of the hand can match the animation of the text, right? So remember, I told you to write down the particular decimal or number that you saw when we went into the effect options. You're going to be needing it now to calculate how how fast or how slow the hand should be in order to trace the outline of this text, right? For me, it was 0.5. So what you're going to do is count each letter, and you can include symbols or signs in there, and then multiply it by the particular number of text. So multiply whatever decimal you saw by the amount of letters that you have and write it down. So for me, I have 1, 2, 3, and I'm counting the symbol. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I have 19 letters. So I'm going to be multiplying that by 0.5. All right, so this is what the animation is looking like. Let me just play it from the first animation. So you realize that the text is being animated and then the hand animation follows. So we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the second animation, which is number 2, which is the handwriting animation from the animation pane. And then I'm going to adjust the settings to start with previous. So that will allow both text and hand to start at the same time. So let's see what that's looking like. All right, good. So now we realize that the hand is moving quite faster than the text. So we're going to go in and adjust those settings. So again, I had calculated the amount of text and multiply it by the 0.5 in order to figure out what the timing is going to be in order for both of these to start and end at the same time. And I got 9.5. So I'm going to select the second animation. Select the second animation, then I'm going to go to timing, which is here, or duration. So select the second animation, go to timing, and then go to duration. And then I'm going to just clear out these fields and type in 9.5. Then I'm going to select OK. So if you realize it's a little bit slow, so we still have some minor adjustments that needs to be made, but let me just play it so you can see. All right, so the next step now is to go back to the animation pane, right? Click on the second animation, and then we're going to be selecting effect options, and everything here that you're seeing as it relates to smooth start, smooth end, and bounce end. You're going to ensure that all of those are zeroed by sliding the bar to your left. Once you do that, click OK. So that will help with the adjustment as it relates to the timing, but we still have some work to do. So whatever it's left now for you is for you to now just adjust the text or the position of the hand so that the animation starts and end at the appropriate time. So let me just go ahead and play this from the top again, and then I'll do the adjustment. So as you can see, the hand, I'm not liking the position. It's too high up. So I'm going to need to adjust that. So this is where it's currently at. So how I do that is just to click on the hand and then pull the cursive writing down and pull it to my right. So when you're doing these sorts of animation, you want to ensure that the one that you wrote, that you traced, is a little bit in front of the word and a little bit down. So the further down you carry it, is the further down the writing will start. So I'm going to check to see what this looks like and then continuously adjust it until I'm comfortable. So that's looking a little bit better. So you can just go ahead now and just adjust the position of the hand in order to get it correct. So you just have to continuously manage the position or adjust the position a little bit until you are comfortable. And this is in essence how you get the handwriting effect using Microsoft Office. You don't have to pay for any expensive software in order to get it done. You can use Microsoft Office in order to do that. The next thing I'm going to be showing you how to do is to add the little flowers that you see moving across. All right, so what I did was to use the same animation, which is custom pathway. So I'm going to go ahead and add some flowers and possibly give this a background and then show you how to do that. So let's start with the background first, right? So I'm going to be using a background similar to the one that I use in the intro video. So I'm just going to click on this slide that I want to adjust and then right click. And you're going to see format background. You're going to select that and then ensure that it's on solid fill, and then come to color here and choose the appropriate color that you want to use. Or you can use any one of these that they have here. So I'm going to be using the picture or text fill and then apply to all. And that's it. So that's my background that I'm using. All right, so let's just go now and search for the images for the flowers. Of course, you can use anything you want to use. You don't have to limit it to that. So go to insert again, go to online pictures and then transparent, leaf, PNG, and see what comes up. And then you can just select from what's there. So that's how you do it. So I'm going to just go off screen and go ahead and select the ones that I want and then show you how to add the necessary animations. So what you want to do too is that ensure that the zoom, you put it back close to the original size. And I think that would be somewhere around 30 to 40%, so that you can go ahead and add these images independent of the slide. You don't want to add them on the slide, but outside of or on one of the side panels. So what you're going to do now, once you have chosen your images, you're going to go ahead and resize. Of course, I'm going to make these a little bit smaller. So you want to go ahead and resize the images as well as possibly the positions. So I don't like the position, so I'm going to go ahead and click the rotate icon here so that I have the leaf at a different orientation. All right, good. So now that I have done that, you can go ahead and place your leaf anywhere on this on any one of the side panels of the slide. So you can put them on the right, on the left, above, below. It's all up to you how you want it to look or the effect that you're going for. You can even put a tree here and then put these on the outside so it will appear as if the leaves are actually blowing from the tree. So those little tips and tricks you can bear in mind when you're doing that. All right, so what I'm going to do now is select the leaf, then go to animation. Then I'm going to click add animation and then go back to custom path as my motion animation. And then I'm just going to use this little tool here to draw how I want the leaf to move. Nothing fancy, just a simple little pathway. You want to ensure that when you're drawing it, it goes to the end. So that's what that one is looking like. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process for the other two. So this is the one from the bottom. Nothing fancy. Something really simple. So that's what that is looking like. And the same for the third one. So animation, add animation, then go to custom path and do the same. All right, so that's what that is looking like. Now, what you want to do now, if you want all of them to move at the same time, then you can go ahead and select with previous for the, let me click to see. So this is the fourth picture. So for the fourth picture, was that the one that I animated first? So for the fourth picture, I want to ensure that this is after previous. So this will come in after the last animation. And then for the other two, I want to ensure that I select with previous for those. So you can go ahead now and see what everything is looking like for the text. All right, so that's what that is looking like. What I didn't remember to do is for the hand, I can apply an exit animation for this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and add it and then change the orientation of where this flows. So I'm going to click on the hand and then add animation, then go to exit animation and then choose one of these. I'm going to allow the hand to fly out. Right, so that's picture 3 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift this up. Right there. And then select after previous. Let me see if I chose the correct order. Start from the front. Oh no, so that means oh, it should be after previous. All right. I just started to play it from there so that I can see exactly where it will start fading. Right, so that's the right order. So there you have it. That's how you do it. Now, if you want these to go a little bit slower, you can always just click on the image, then select, go to the animation pane and select the corresponding animation, right click, and then go to timing. And so you can adjust it to either any one of these, or you can add your timer on there. So you can select from 0.5 to 5 seconds, or you can type in what you want that to be. So in a nutshell, that's how you add the handwriting effect. And that's how you basically can create more dynamic presentations with PowerPoint. Before I end this tutorial though, some other interesting features that you have with PowerPoint are the transitions that I really love. So you can choose any one of these as your possible animation. So if you want to transition from one slide to the next, you can use one of those. One of my personal favorites would be the airplane, and another one that works similar to that one. So I like that one as well. So it depends on the background that you're working with or the concept that you're trying to bring out. You'll choose one of these accordingly. I think I'm going to go with the first one, the vortex kind of one. And for this, you can also add special effects. So you can determine if you want the vortex to come from the bottom or from the right or from the left. You can go ahead and play around with those. For persons with the newer version of PowerPoint, you can go ahead and add 3D images. For example, this particular bee that I have here, I took it from my desktop, or you can download them and add animation to them. As well as for some persons, if you should click insert, right beside online pictures, you will see 3D images. You can go ahead and select that, and those 3D images already come with different animations. So you can, you don't have to animate those. They will be animated. It's built in Microsoft Office, so those would already be animated. So you just put them where you want to and they will move around. So that's some of the good features about Microsoft Office that you cannot necessarily do with Google Slides because certain things are limited. So that's the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the session. Comment below this video to tell me how it was when you were creating your own. Was it hard? Was it easy? Let me know. All right. So thank you and goodbye.